Hello everyone, welcome to Chels Daft, and I just had to do the video today on Kai Havertz. There's plenty of opinion. There's plenty of people talking of the player, the record Chelsea signing that's come into the team and has pretty much underwhelmed in his performances so far this season. Frank has called for calm. Fans are not liking it. Fans are not impressed. Pundits are not impressed. Is it right to have a level of expectation straight away? Or, as Frank Lampard said, do we need to give him some time? I want to discuss this and a lot more. So drop a like on the video for me. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And as usual, let's get cracking. So I've got to be honest with you. When the rumours in the summer about Kai Havertz were sort of beginning to gather momentum and gather pace and were beginning to get real substance, I was always talking on my channel saying we don't need him. We don't need Kai Havertz. We've already got plenty of midfielders here. And this is at the time when we had Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Ross Barkley still here. Looking at the midfield that we had, I thought that we could probably invest in a different area, maybe another winger to supplement the three that we've already got in Callum Hudson-Odoi, Hakim Ziyech and Christian Pulisic. I just thought we had plenty of bodies, we had plenty of options in the middle of midfield with Billy Gilmore coming back in as well, that we should invest in an area where we were lacking. And it just so happens that we've been struggling in recent weeks with a lack of wide players. Anyway, then I sat and watched some more of Kai Havertz on YouTube. As you do, you sit and watch the videos. What's this player about? I was aware of him, but I didn't know him the details of him. I didn't know the package that Kai Havertz is and the exciting talent that he's proven to be and still is. I sat and watched the highlights of him and I was really impressed with his ability, his technique. He scores goals, he creates goals, he causes problems, and I can actually see why Chelsea were looking to try and sign him as a long-term investment. So he's come in and we've seen the likes of Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who has maybe, let's be honest, flattered to deceive, and Ross Barkley, who's pretty much the same in a Chelsea shirt over sustained periods of time. But there's always an argument when it comes to Ross Barkley and Ruben Loftus-Cheek for that matter, that they've not really had a sustained period of time playing week in, week out in the team. They've been in maybe 3-4 games and brought out, or in for a couple and out, or out and then just brought in as subs. You can't really gather momentum. Anyway, decision was made. Chelsea decides to let Ruben Loftus-Cheek go to Fulham, Ross Barkley go to Aston Villa, Kai Havertz come in to supplement our midfield. But then you look at the midfield and Efan Ampadu went, defensive-minded midfielder, leaving N'Golo Kanté as the only one. If Kanté gets injured, then God knows what's going to happen. Anyway, let's focus on Kai Havertz coming in. And it looked as though Chelsea were looking at a 4-2-3-1 formation. And from what I saw of Kai Havertz, the 4-2-3-1 suited him perfect. He scored a hat-trick against Barnsley, League Cup, and he showed what he could do as a number 10. Kai Havertz is somebody that likes to influence the game from a higher position where he can literally cause problems, get forward and score goals. And that's where everyone possibly sees Kai Havertz as a number 10. In Germany, Bayer Leverkusen built the team around him. He was able to play as the number 10. He was able to have the freedom to go and create, get forward, to supplement the players in the wide areas and up front. And he flourished in that particular team and in that particular formation. Now, he comes to Chelsea for 70 million, 72 million, whatever it was. And let's just be honest here, before we judge and say anything else, we have to state facts here. And the facts are that Kai Havertz has been everywhere. He's literally gone from one position to another, wide right, wide left, number 10, box to box, a 2 in the midfield. He's played everywhere and he's not had real time to settle down. He spoke and said that he likes to be more offensive, and of course he'll just play anywhere at the moment to try and get used to the Premier League. And he's struggling. Let's be honest. We have to be honest. He is struggling to come to terms with the Premier League itself, the pace of the Premier League, the physicality of the Premier League, and trying to settle in to the team and find his identity in the Chelsea team. And it's difficult. It is very difficult because the way we were playing, the 4-2-3-1, left us too open and too exposed in wide areas and in front of the back four. And we all saw what happened beginning of the season. We were still conceding goals. We were still, throwing points away. So a decision was made to go 4-3-3. And it gives us so much better balance. We've got box-to-box midfielders that are hard-working, alongside N'Golo Kanté, middle of midfield, who's literally everywhere. And the formation suits the players that we've got. It suits the team, the wide areas with Hakim Ziyech, Christian Pulisic, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Werner out there, who's not been great, but he's still trying to do a job. And then obviously the forward. We've got one forward up top leading the line, which I still think needs to be Timo Werner when everyone's fit. Giroud's in, playing well, scoring goals. Tammy's been scoring. And the 4-3-3 suits us. It suits us when, as Frank Lampard says, the players listen to instruction and they don't, for example, Wolves ignore the fact that their threat is a counter-attack and you let them have a counter-attack late in the game and they score a winner. But the 4-3-3 is the way forward. And the problem that you've got with the 4-3-3, and I've said it many times in my videos, Kai Havertz doesn't start in that position. It's Mason Mount and Mateo Kovacic for me because of their overall work rate, their graft and their influence alongside N'Golo Kanté. That's the starting three, and Kai Havertz is not in it. And if it was a 4-2-3-1, you'll probably find Kai Havertz would be in it because he's creative and he's influential. The problem he's got is that he's struggling to try and find his identity in the team, his actual position, because the box-to-box midfielder doesn't come naturally to him. He's more of a number 10, as we keep saying. And as a result, his performances have not been great. You can see in the Bundesliga where he's picked up the ball and has time to turn, has time to lift his head up and try and go or play his passes. Premier League, as soon as he gets the ball, and most of the time, if it's out wide, he's coming back on his left foot, or he's got someone straight behind him and he's getting challenged straight away and he's not used to it. He's trying to adjust to it. And I just see a difference with Mateo Kovacic and Kai Havertz. When they pick up the ball deep, Kovacic goes full pelt. I keep saying it in videos. He goes full pelt to try and turn defence into attack, to break between the lines and to start our attacks off. And when I say he goes full pelt, we've all seen he goes full pelt. Havertz seems to go sort of one pace. He sort of seems to jog a bit. He doesn't really go. And I can see that he could have a real influence by, if he stretches his legs and goes full pelt, he'll stride away from people. But he's just lacking a lot of confidence at the minute because he's struggling. And I mean, Frank Leboeuf, the ex-Chelsea defender, has come out and said he's almost invisible. He's not performing. He isn't performing because he's struggling, and we all know that. And the best thing to do for Kai Havertz is to maybe leave him out on Monday against West Ham, bring in Kovacic to bolster the midfield options that we've got, and just bring Havertz on in games where he can begin to be fresh and dictate games in the latter stages of games, so he can then build some confidence and feel comfortable. A lot of people, I've read some ridiculous comments saying if this was a Man United player, he'll be absolutely lambasted every single day. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. We've all seen social media. We've all seen what Chelsea fans can be like when we drop points or when we lose games. It just goes way over the top. Kai Havertz is someone that is regarded in Germany as the next big thing. We can see the obvious ability and the potential this guy's got. And as Frank Lampard said, he just needs time. He needs time to settle in. He needs to build up some confidence. And he needs to be played in his right position, which at the moment is not something that's going to be available to him. So he needs to learn to adjust to being much more involved without the ball, deeper on the pitch, to have an influence there, striding through midfield, breaking the lines and things like that. Where Mateo Kovacic has come in and adapted. It took him 6 months maybe in his first season at Chelsea. Towards the end of the season, Europa League final, for example, he was outstanding. He'd got used to the demands of the Premier League and the demands of playing in our team, and he's flourished ever since. And I think Kai Havertz will do the same, but he just needs time to do it. The problem is the price tag weighs a heavy burden. People say, oh, it doesn't. Of course it does. because there's a level of expectation straight away. As I say, the tactics probably not suiting him at the moment. And people expect people to come into the Chelsea team and deliver straight away. In response to that, if the manager puts you in, he's asking you to perform. And if you're not performing for whatever reason, then you will be criticised. And Kai Havertz, I'm sure, is well aware of the criticism. Frank is aware of it, which is why he's tried to protect him of late. And it's just something that I think we can all agree is the guy's got talent and he just needs time. So let's take him out the firing line. Let's bring him on in games with half hour, 20 minutes to go to try and influence and get used to playing in that position. You know, hopefully there's going to be games where the game's already won and you can come on and then just have the freedom to try and play. I just think at the moment, because of the situation with the injuries, we've had to play him out wide and it's not suiting him. He's playing with his back to goal on the wrong side. And it's just, things are not really working for him at the moment, but they will. And you have to have patience with Kai Havertz. So, I mean, I've been talking enough about Kai Havertz. You guys watching the video, let me know what you think about Havertz yourselves. Do you agree with any points that I've made? And put your comments in the comments section below. Drop a like on the video for me and then subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And just give me your take on Havertz. Do you think he'll come good? What do you think about the tactical formation? And what I'm saying, it doesn't suit him 4-3-3. Does the 4-2-3-1 suit him better? It's a number 10. And just let me know your overall opinions and if you believe in him over the long term that he will come good. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. See you all next time.